I must. I'm afraid that these are probably beyond your scope. Then I think.
Well,
That's
let
a
me just say
shame.
that it's always good to have goals, something to work towards.
Ah, goals. Well, yes, goals are very fine. Well, let's see. When you get perhaps a goal worth, this piece here is one of my more trifling ones, and he holds up this simple brooch with a really nice tiger eye stone in it, and it's made in a real setting of nice gold and stuff. This will be about 500 gold pieces.
I like it. I like it. I like to shoot things in the eye.
Ah. Well, as I said, there's possibilities of finance as well.
Well, do me a favor. What can I pay you today to set this aside, or to at least call me if someone is interested in this?
Ah, I see. Well, I could. This is in high demand. The mayor's daughter has been looking at my wares, and she recently got married.
Did she?
About 5 days ago. It was a big deal in the town, and she did. I must say, they bought a lot of my jewelry, but she wanted this one, but it didn't go with her dress and so on. And she said, "But I tell you what, I will hold this little piece for you if you have 10% down."
So if I gave you 10 platinum pieces, would you hold this for me for 2 weeks?
His eyes suddenly, his demeanor changes dramatically again, and suddenly he's paying a lot of attention like he was before again to you. Oh, well, why did you not say platinum? Of course, I will hold you.
Okay, and if I come back with your 500, can we count this money towards the purchase of this brooch?
But of course, I work in transfers of cash and coinage, and I have the most recent rates. Platinum piece at the moment. Actually, I'll let you make a roll to see how your luck is.
Okay.
So roll just a 20-sided, and it's just a straight up luck roll. A high is good. Lucky.
Get some, baby.
Wow. So the platinum really impressed this guy, and he was like, "You are in luck. The rate to platinum is 20-1." So these,
Good.
how many platinum pieces?
10. Yes.
Oh. If you exchange that today, I will give you 180 gold pieces for that platinum.
I want this brooch, but I don't have it all with me. But trust me.
I will give you 180 gold pieces toward the cost of the brooch if I keep the platinum.
I think we have a good rapport. Let's do this. I'll be back, and I'm going to buy this brooch, and I'm going to wear it with pride, and I will tell everybody in town where I got it.
Well, that is excellent. Perhaps exchange like that deserves a drink, no? And he goes to a crystal decanter and stuff and pours out this amber liquid and 2 things and comes back and excellent to our new association with each other. I am new to this town myself. I came here just last year, and my business, yes, there's a great trade route here, you see, and the mountains to the south are the only block to the north is open to the great kingdom, of course, of Hrundi and others. And I do great business with Verbabank, the city to the northwest.
Well, you know, I would have been able to buy this a week ago with cash, but someone stole some of my money, and I'm peeking out the window, just kind of glancing out the window at the trader, not being terribly conspicuous, but just kind of ask him if he's seen any strangers around. I'd hate to have my money stolen again that would keep me from buying this brooch.
Well, see, I've only been to town for about a year. My business was just finished built a few months ago. But I've noticed, now make a charisma check, plus 10. It's a very hard check, near impossible.
Yeah, Gwyn's not going to make this one. Hold on.
Unless you're really charismatic, then you have a pretty good chance to make it very hard. That's the way it goes with the stats, though, right? It's not your thing.
Let's see here.
So now you can tell that this guy's, make an intelligence check for me real quick, please. So you passed your intelligence.
Pass the intelligence check.
Yes. So you notice this is a shrewd guy. The way he switched modes and kind of, when you said you were poor, he was almost gonna kind of guard. It's like, but then when you put the platinum on the table, he was just like, you can see he lit up. But he goes, and he's still putting away the choins and stuff, and finishes his drink with a gulp. And well, the traders, I do some business with them. Much of the lumber for this place was purchased through them, and some of the other things, nails and such, I'm not sure, but their prices are decent, a little bit steep. Hommlet is a bit of a trade hub, but I don't know. It's run by two chaps. We'll have a quick look here in a minute. One, Ranos, he's sort of, I think he's the owner or something, Ranos.
Ranos, okay.
And he's got it might be his partner, but I don't know. It's an employee or something. His name is Gremag. And he kind of says after he takes a swig, why do you ask?
I'm not sure. Just curious of people. I kind of have no reason to be concerned. I just don't know them. I've met a lot of other people here, and they seem a little distant to themselves.
He gives you a funny look, kind of. Well, Well, I appreciate your business, and I hope you return. And of course, your brooch will be waiting here for you.
My friend, with good luck, I shall reap the benefits of my labor, and I'll be back and wearing this within a few weeks. But do me a favor, if something concerns you, if you need anything, if you need any help, if you have any concerns or fears, find me. I'll be at the winch, and I'll be glad to look into your problems.
Okay, make a charisma check +5.
Okay, hang on. Sorry, I'm writing notes here.
And we're almost ready to get to a couple other people and stuff too. So, but
boy, I wish I could save some of these for a fight.
And he seems a little bit puzzled, and you sense you might have even put him off a little bit, because he's just like, well, I have Ranger here for protection. I think I'm okay though. Good day, sir.
You know where to find me. Thank you, sir. And then on the way out, after I walk out, if the guard walks out with me and shuts the door, I'm going to hand him a gold piece and tell him, "Thank you. keep the jeweler safe.
Aye, that's my job. He kind of, grateful, sir. And he disappears. And you head back out on the street. And you're going to be heading back now. That's kind of what you did. I could say that you might have, you would have met, there's people moving around. Like you would have seen, there's people on the road. Envision that, right? This town is fairly bustling. And
is this, real quick, and then I'll defer to others. Is this tree here beside the cabinet maker? If I were to just kind of sit down there and kind of hang out, is that a place that I can kind of hang out without being terribly conspicuous?
Well, an elven warrior with a sword and armor is pretty conspicuous wherever you lean. Mm-hmm. And in this case, it wouldn't bring out any extra attention. Like people would notice you and be curious. And
yeah, that's fine. I'm not trying to be.
You know what I mean?
I'm not trying to be invisible.
No, okay, so you're there, and when people walk by, and it's a friendly town. Like people wave and say, "How you doing, sir?" And this cabinet maker, it's busy. You hear noises and clunking and saws going in there. Just imagine that. I haven't put in all the tokens yet, but there's the cabinet maker is. It looks like it's a family operation. He's got a small family, a wife and 4 kids. And yeah, and
can I walk?
You watch.
I'll quit here to let other people do stuff. I'm going to go in and see if I can buy a piece of nice, like rare wood that I might be able to carve, and kind of sit outside next to that tree. Kind of whittle a little bit, use that as my excuse to.
Okay, we'll get back to you in a minute then. So, yeah, so that's what you've been doing for a couple hours.
Cool, that works.
And then what's going to happen is you're far enough away that you kind of, I'm going to say that you dozed off because you were just kind of quite tired from excursions, combat stuff. And it was quite a peaceful place, and unless I was trying to get you away from the village because of when the dragon hits, either you would have heard something happen and then wondered what's going on, and the village started to panic, and and then somebody came running down the street yelling about a dragon, and we could pick up that you actually, by the time you got back, that the combat was over. And there was this huge slain dragon in the street. And to sum it up, the people had been out cheering and clapping, and there was this speech by the mayor and a speech by Rufus, and credit was given to some party members who became actual heroes of Hommlet. Like they were given the sort of honorary status of heroes of Hommlet. Let me represent, and that's Rufus, Thrandu, Jang, and who am I missing? Oh, Leto. You haven't met him. So I'm just kind of rushing this forward because this is catching you up. And that's too bad you weren't there for that session because, whatever. It was fun. And you see this massive dragon with its head cut off, and everyone's fucking it up, and this party's getting started, and you end up joining the party, and that's to sum up to get you caught up to about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And I just have to kind of do that sometimes, and but I give you the chance to kind of say what you're doing, and you did it well, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, at this point, you didn't see anything suspicious, and it seemed that it was a legitimate trader, functioning, and locals were using it, and that was clever of you to go talk to the jeweler, and you got some sort of little personal issue done, and just kind of, I think you did a really good job because the jeweler wasn't suspicious. He didn't sense that. He was seemed a bit annoyed and stuff that you were kind of hinting at him, if you ever need any help and stuff. And he was, I already have a bodyguard, thank you, sort of thing. And then he was very businesslike, but you knew he could.
My goal is to establish a relationship with a couple of these people so that if I'm around them in the future, it doesn't look very suspicious. And I'm gonna go this route, and then I'll get out of the way here. I'm going to go the route of sort of being curious with this cabinet maker about. I'm interested in woodworking and wood carving, and then I'm going to screw around with whittling some crap.
Yeah. All right, now Dean and Brad. There's Jim.
Good morning, Hommlet.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, welcome, Jim.
Yeah, thank you. I was just seeing kind of where you guys are at. I just got home, so I was going to hop in the shower unless you need me right away or something.
No, I'm just getting them caught up. We're running through a couple players, what they were doing in the meantime sort of scenario. And fleshing out, doing some Hommlet crawl. And so, yeah, if you get on in a bit or whatever, have a shower, that's good timing because I'm just getting caught up to the party at the very end where you just left the green room.
Perfect.
Yeah. And so now, Dean, you were there. Oh, by the way, Brad, I got you a new token.
Oh, yeah. Yay. I keep seeing it with a bow, and it just brings me more pain every time I see it. Oh,
yeah, but look at your left hand.
I could probably still use. I don't know.
Just zoom in and look at your left hand.
Oh, really? You can fix that.
I found a token where the left hand looks like it's like kind of a black stump.
Oh, perfect.
Take a look at that. Zoom in on that. It's funny. So who was here yesterday? Jim was here. So he knows what's going on, and we played. And Boudica was here. So I'm wondering. I think, and Boudica sent me a message that she'll be on, not for a while yet. I may play for a little bit and then take a break, and have some food and stuff, if you guys don't mind. And I wanted to get Justin, I would say Mark again, and Dean caught up. So I'm going to spend a bit of time with Thrandrau and Dean now.
Okay.
There's not Dean, or I should say Zhang. You spent time with Boudica. You guys discovered more dead animals, right? Did I talk to you about that?
You mentioned that to me here this evening, yep.
Okay, and one of the cats had gotten petted by the girl.
Uh-oh.
No!
So, and a small tree is dead.
Ooh, that's not good.
So she's doing damage to the grove unintentionally, but they came up with one particular possible way, and that was the gypsies were very informed about, seances and talking to the dead, and they might know how to exorcise this girl. Now, Gwyden, you know about the ghost, right? It almost possessed you, right? When you almost put on the necklace?
It almost possessed me when I put on the necklace, and then when we were back in the grove, the ghost walked by, I don't know, it was Shorten or somebody, and he was poking it.
What happened when we played, we found out that Shorten, when he sung his hymns and prayed in the glen, he soothed the girl during the night because she haunted the place at night and killed things and tried to lure a couple characters in, but they didn't fall for it, luckily. And Drew and Namsu warned that her touch drains life and ages you dramatically. And so that was a side issue. During the day, though, sunlight seems to make her go. She's not. You can't see her in the daylight, and she seems to disappear, and she just comes out at night. So the gypsies were a possible way to find out a solution, so to speak. And on that note, after the big slaying of the dragon, there's this big party, and it's gotten to the point that the gypsies were here, but there were special guests. The gypsies also brought these two old crones showed up, and they set up like a booth. Well, they turned one of the private rooms in the back into a booth back here, and they have one guy at the door, and apparently these two old crones are alone in that room, and with the bodyguard, there's this big fat gypsy guy, and people are paying good money to go in and get fortunes read and stuff, apparently. That's the rumor, and it's exciting and stuff. And there's other booths going on and people selling food and candies or whatever, and trinkets. It's turned into a big festival party. The whole village is here. The gypsies have turned this back room into a green room, if you know what I mean. The prep room. And they're doing their wardrobe changes and stuff back there, and they're putting on quite a show. And you got to envision that this inn is quite packed, pretty well standing room almost, and the center area has been kind of cleared out for their performances. And your guys' table is the same one. It's over in the corner near the kitchen. This seems that Ostler kind of keeps this one sort of for a few special guests and honored guests. And you get the best service there and stuff. And you're beside the band. And the dragon head is up there prominently. It was cleaned up pretty quick. They cleaned it up and it looks impressive. Huge. What else was this? Just a quick mention. So what I was getting at was Thrandrau, what would you like to do for like, no, you fought the dragon. Okay, so you don't have, you're all good. You just carried on. You joined the festival, and yesterday we kind of played the party we got till about 11 or 12 at night when the party was kind of peaking and it was just starting to die down a bit, and more of the diehards were still sticking it out, and people were kind of going to private parties, but it was still very much still going on. The gypsies have sort of wrapped up their act, except the musicians were still playing. And speaking of that, let me get. And they're still playing their music, and the crowd's still pretty busy, and the gypsies are still doing their readings, and other people are doing stuff. What happened was you met this new guy. You just came in that morning. Thrandrau met him. His name is Leto. And he literally came into town, and an hour later he was fighting the dragon with these guys.
Yeah, welcome to town.
Yeah, and then when they did that, his hand was held up with the others as a champion of a Hommlet hero. And
he
so
just arrived.
He's been fed it all night. Everyone's buying him drinks. The girls are all kissing him on the cheek, and he's been dancing with the gypsies. And in particular, there's this one gypsy who has black raven hair and black eyes and hips that can destroy fortresses. And her and Leto have been hitting it off until recently. And then she left, and Leto actually went to the green room looking for her over here, and also looking for somebody, Relinora. Zhang, you remember Relinora?
I know Relinora.
She's kind of a gypsy. Like, she's actually an elf that's pretending to be a gypsy. And they were talking with her, Boudica and Jim, just to let you fill you in on sort of what's happened. A lot went on, and I'll let kind of them fill you in on a bit what happened. But it was just generally a party. We did a whole bunch of role playing, and they were just at the point where they were getting serious about talking to the old crone. And they were wondering if they should pull a move and just pay some money to go and get their fortune read and talk to her. And then it said that you can ask her a question too and stuff like that, or she'll read your palm. You've heard all sorts of rumors about this Madame Priska.
What does she charge? Do we hear anything about that?
That depends on what you want. It's not cheap, but for 20 gold pieces, she'll read your palm, which is not cheap.
Yeah.
Not cheap. That's quite a bit of money. That's like a couple $100, right?
Yeah.
Easily. Or maybe about 10 gold pieces read your palm. And you've heard rumors that she'll also read your fortune in other ways. You can ask her a question, should I marry so-and-so? And it's up to you, and so you guys were at your table. You can move over there if you want. And Boudica showed up actually about 10 o'clock at night, and this is the first time you've actually seen her. uncovered. No, that's not true. You guys saw her at the breakfast.
Yeah.
If you were there. I think you were there, Thrandu. Yeah, you were there. But you see her come in, and she's not disguising herself. She comes into the inn, and people look at her and but they shrug and whatnot. And you guys don't know this, but as a child, she was actually roamed free in Hommlet, and everybody kind of just says, "Oh, she's just a dark kid," right? It was whatever, right? And then when she turned about 13, 14, Jeru said, "Look, we better take some precautions. There are people looking for you." And now that she's turned like 18, 19. And I don't know if you were there, we role played it a bit. She was encouraged to kind of be herself, and we role played that yesterday. And she came out. It was a big turning point for her because in her character development. And Zhang, I role played you. Oh, you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
I was like, you were elated when you saw her come in because she was showing herself, and you're a very open, strong woman yourself. And
oh yes,
and you can see she was timid. And not only that, she was with a hobbit, and you found out that this hobbit's name is Winston Furrytoes. And this hobbit met her outside the inn, and just being a bit of a charmer and be curious, he went up and introduced himself to her, and because she seemed hesitant and quite nervous about going into the inn, because she hadn't been in the inn for 10 years or something, ever since she was a little kid. And she was afraid of what the villagers how they would react when they saw that she was this, oh, it's her again, Boudica, and they hadn't seen her for 10 years. But they accepted her and stuff, and she came in with Winston, came to your table, and you hugged her and stuff, and were proud of her, and was like, that's awesome, you look great. And she was dressed all simple, though, like she was just no makeup or anything, and she didn't dress up. I was like, okay. Because everyone else kind of dressed up wearing their best, of course, at this party.
Well, not going in disguise would be dressed up for her.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big deal. It took a lot of courage and stuff and all that. But you can tell that she overcame, and she came in and she sat down, and people didn't freak out. They didn't lynch her or nothing. The town just kind of, like I said, it was a collective shrug, and most people were too drunk to care. And a lot of people recognized her. There was a couple that came up to her outside and hugged her and stuff. One of the Wilma Pock's wife was a teacher at the school that she went to when she was a little girl, and she learned her letters.
And it's a happy day, so people are feeling happy anyway, so they're more accepting on a happy day.
Yeah, yes. I dropped a bunch of hints at Boudica and said, if you're going to come out of the closet in this manner, this is a good timing. And she played it pretty well. And it was fun. So that basically catches you up. It's getting later in the evening, you've been sitting at the table, having some drinks, and you guys can bring your avatars into the inn now and bring them over to the table. Callan is there. His buddy died. He was one of the dwarves that got hit by the flames when they were fighting the dragon. There were 3 dwarves. One of them died, and 2 of them, I don't know, there were 2 dwarves. One of them refused to fight the dragon. He just is not my fight. Come out. Yeah, he's whatever. And you guys are fine. So I've talked a lot. I'm trying to get you guys caught up. A lot of information. There's a couple other things. So you met this Winston Furrytoes, a halfling, hobbit, whatever. Boudica is now out and about. And you were just kind of observing in your way, right, Jane? And you watched, you saw that Leto was getting pretty drunk. And he was having a lot of fun with the gypsies. And then he said, I'm going to go to the green room and talk to Relanora. She said she wanted to say something to me. And Relanora had come up to him discreetly and whispered in his ear. And so he went off to the green room and spent about 5-8 minutes in there, and then came out of the green room and came back to your table. And that's right where we were going to start the adventure. Now, I was thinking about have you guys play a little bit before that happens, give you guys like an hour or so to go around and do something. That's an option. And then Jim's going to be back in a while, but I kind of need Boudica as well, so we could just role play some stuff.
Well, I can fill some space here for you too with where was I here?
Can you remind me who Relanora is?
Relanora is the first one I went on an adventure with. One of the first heroes I met around here. Zhang and Relenora and Father John.
Oh, this was an actual character in the camp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They just you ask you can ask one of these people like I like to role play this stuff, so you can ask somebody hey, who's Relenora?
I'm still sleeping under a tree. Sorry, I'll go back to sleep. I'll go back to sleep. Sorry.
No, I'm catching you up here. This is actually we're
in the full party now.
Yeah,
this is the evening.
You've waken up. You've gone in, and you would have gone in, seen the slain dragon and the villagers cheering some of your friends, and you would have been just like, oh darn it, I slept in. No, I'm just kidding. You were just too far away by the time you figured out what was going on and got there. They had slain the dragon. You were like, holy. Look at that thing, this huge red dragon. They were just hacking its head off with a big cleaver and starting to cut it up into steaks. And then you joined the party, and for the next 2 hours, you basically feasted and drank, had a good time. You can decide whether or not how much you want to party. Titus said, "Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun. I just slew a dragon."
Leto. You keep calling me Titus.
Oh yeah, no.
That's still a sensitive subject.
I'll sit down in and have a drink, and if and when there's an opportunity, remind me who's Relenora. I've met so many people, I can't remember who I've met and who I haven't.
I don't know if you guys have all met Relenora, but Relenora is an elf multi-class that was with us early on the campaign, and then got switched out for Gwyden. No, not Gwyden. Shorten.
Now, this elf is also a gypsy. She's basically lives with the gypsies, dresses like a gypsy, is basically a gypsy at the moment. And she's a connection, though. You guys do know her, and she is your friend. You guys did go on a couple adventures with her and fought with her, so she's actually, you trust her somewhat now, but she is in with the gypsies camp. Like, she is a gypsy. They've adopted her.
Yeah. Darren, seeing as I missed the first trip to the moat house or the keep or whatever we called that thing, did Relenora go on that one? And then Shorten come on the second?
She did.
Okay. So she was with everybody who was on the first trip to the moat house.
And she did some stuff before, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so as I said, not all of you know her, but the people that do know her would be Zhang, perhaps.
And you noticed her and Leto disappearing into the green room together.
Yes. Were you here when I was explaining that we had gone in because, remember, Relenora had said she wanted to say something to you. Now, you haven't met Relenora, right, Jim?
No, I didn't know her before that encounter.
Yeah, right. So you, for some reason, she warned you, right? Or no, she had, yeah, she said what she told you again. I'm curious to see exactly. Do you recall?
Yeah, I can tell you just a moment.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to say, Darren, this would be a great time for the other character I had there to just show up and be part of the party. Show up in the evening after the dragon was slain and everything, coming off the road just in time to walk into the massive party. Just be one more person in the room.
Sure. Yeah, just watching and stuff. And yeah. I won't be doing anything with the character because I got a lot to cover.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just saying it's a good spot for them to be totally missed.
Sure. Well, it depends, because sometimes I have ways of introducing your character.
Okay, sure.
I hadn't really thought of one yet, so I just mentioned that to you.
Okay,
that's one way you can just, So,
yeah, what she said to me, we kind of, when I burst in there, and all the other gypsies were like, "What the fuck's going on?" And she broke that vase, and then we were both on the ground together, like really close. And then she looked at me, and she's like, "Yeah, look at me." And she's like, "Don't trust Zara. Like, she can, she is more than she appears, and that we don't really know her at the gypsy camp, sort of deal. She's pretty new."
And she also mentioned that, but the elders seem to respect her. Like, she's fully accept it. Like the gypsies, she's like considered. It's almost like she's one of them. You wouldn't have known if she hadn't told you.
Yeah, no, I myself have an idea, but my character would just kind of be oblivious to it right now. He's just he's pretty into her.
Yeah, and you kind of go, like, yeah, but she's so beautiful. I was like, oh, okay.
She's perfect in every way.
Yeah, you're like, you're just overreacting. And the stranger, but you took it though. The stranger kind of out of nowhere did this, so you were like, oh, okay, kind of, Killjoy. You were about to join their table, and I was just going to give them a brief chance to do a little bit of role play. It could take a little bit of time. I was going to give them like an hour of time during the party if they had something bugging them they want to do or something. They don't have to search for anything particular at this point. But I was just going to take a bio real quick and hop outside for a minute. So I'll let you guys think about this. And like I said, this is a very open session. I was hoping Boudica would be here because I was going to continue, right? And I'm going to do so regardless, and she'll have to catch up. She's going to play. She's going to be showing up in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be back. I'll be back soon too.
And this is a cool adventure. Like if we play this, it's going to be cool. And this Madame Priska stuff, Jim, is you remember you were deciding whether you were going to try and go in there and whatever, get your fortune read or whatever, and then be sly or something or who knows. I kind of had Boudica built up. I had these two guys, Boudica and, of course, Leto. Where is Leto, by the way? I don't see his thing.
I think he was in the green room still, maybe?
Oh, yeah, he is. Okay, I'll bring him back. Okay, so he came back to the table. And when these guys are done, you'll just kind of join them at the table. And you're a bit swaying a little bit, but you sobered up a bit, because the party's, it's about midnight now, right? So you're kind of like wondering if you should keep drinking and you see the dwarves are partying over there. Actually, Callan joined his buddies over there, and they're getting into wake mode about the guy who died.
Oh yeah, I already went and paid my respects. I think I don't know if I'd be.
And Callan has been feted and stuff too. He's sort of a hero, but he didn't last long. He ran out of the bar, got hit by dragonfire, and then
yeah.
That was it. Contribution done. But it brought us a round and a half. Okay, guys, I'll be back in a few minutes then, and you guys can mull this over and if you come up with a neat idea. Don't look for trouble unless you really want to go pick somebody's pocket, maybe. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Or if I saw it's got to be both, but I just find that now the chance of you even being one of these would have been incredible. Like I would just been incredible. But being both is just, I mean, that's like winning 5 lotteries in a row. Yeah, that happened. Oh yeah. Okay, made myself a little drinky poo as well. Okay, so who's here with me?
Lido.
I'm here.
Okay, Lido and Jang, and okay, so Brad, Thrandrew, and Gwyden will be around. I'm just having a bit of lime water with a bit of a small amount of grenadine, and an ounce of vodka.
All I got here.
In this fancy thermos cup mug contraption that doesn't spill drinks on my keyboard.
Bonus.
Learn that lesson. $150 keyboards don't like screwdrivers.
Hey, Darren, there's ashes coming from the sky. There must be a fire close by here.
Isn't that, yeah, there's clouds too, right? I was outside, I don't smell it.
I can see little tiny ashes falling out of the sky.
There's still fires going on in Penticton. I was working right by them today, actually.
Oh shit! Okay, because it's like smog. It's like Mordor here.
Yeah. Typical. Yeah, we never used to get smoky summers, but last 10 years, all the time now.
Yeah. Well,
never had a smoky summer in the 80s or 90s.
Well, I just happen to have certain ingredients here, so you make do with what you got, in a way. But I was gonna. Boudica is kind of eager when you come back, like Lido.
Mm-hmm.
She's been telling these guys, and they've been talking for about an hour and a half, filling each other in on what they've been doing, and regaling the story of the dragon and stuff. And Boudica informed them about. And Jang, and then you were going to the green room to talk to Relinora, and she kind of jokes about how Lido's been kind of making moon eyes at this gypsy named Zara, and they did a really wicked dance actually. And Lido, to his credit, now she was probably the best dancer, this gypsy girl. And she was definitely the looker out of the lookers. And she came up and pulled him onto the dance floor, and he responded. And yeah, and they did this elaborate like tango rip across and tore the place up. And then she kind of disappeared, Lido. You remember, you looked around and you didn't see her in the green room, because last time you knew she went into the green room. And she could have slipped out or something. I mean, there's a big crowd and hustle bustle, and you're always being clapped on the back by people and stuff. It's like, yeah, good job, man. And offered drinks and such, of course. So we'll roll with this. Now back to Thrandrew. You've just been partaking in the party. Was there anything you wanted to do in this inn, like that? Some curiosity, or talk to somebody, or follow up on something I may have told you about?
Oh, well, I've been hearing about this Madame Priska. Maybe I'll go see what she has to say.
All right. Now, Boudica said that their one lead they had was that they knew that Jeru had told you that the gypsies know about the dead, and they know, and so the thing about the ghost in the grove, we were thinking, well, it's a long shot, but we could talk to the gypsies. so Thrandrew, you get up just as Lido's coming back to the table, and you tell you just head over there, or you tell these guys, I'm going to go talk to this.
I'm going to go get my palm read or something. Why not?
Okay, and Boudica kind of grabs your wrist a bit quickly, and you notice Boudica's not covered up now, though. Remember, Thrandrew, she's kind of open, showing her face. Yeah. And she just gives you a quick warning. She goes, she is ancient, and some say devious.
Right back.
I shall stay on my guard then.
And yeah, and then you're like, okay, now Leo, you were contemplating going in there, and you see Thrandu's like, I'm gonna go in there and talk to this Priska. Because now, have you been drinking Thrandu or anything? Have you been partaking?
Oh yeah.
Okay, now make a Constitution check just to see.
Back here. Thanks. Okay.
Oh, hold on, I got somebody at the door.
I'm
Fitting. Constitution 15. Yep, so dead even. So I made it. Just. Did Darren disappear or something?
Yeah, he said someone was at the door.
Oh. We have 4th level now. I just went up a level this week. Really? Crap, I gotta be 7th level before I get 3 attacks over 2 rounds.
Okay, I may have to go in a little while. But just hearing back, anyway, I should be good for a while here, and then I got to just wait. I might have to go give somebody a ride and deal with a couple things. No emergency or anything, or nothing bad.
Oh, that's
But I'll see. I'm just trying to find another way. Anyway, yeah. So I just catching up. You know, says Zara disappeared. You're not sure where she went. Thrandu, okay, blah, 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 you're back at the table, and Thrandu got up and says, I'm going to go talk to Madame Priska. Do you anyone want to say anything or do anything?
Wasn't Boudica talking to him?
Yeah, Boudica did grab his arm and kind of just said, be careful. She's very ancient and cunning. And she tells you a quick story about when she was a real small, probably 3 years old. Giroux had brought her just because he was he was watching her at that time. He brought her with him on business to the gypsy camp, which happened to be coming through at that point. And he'd gone into the old Madame Priska's wagon, and there she had met Madame Priska for the first time. Back then she was ancient, old crone. But Madame Priska had asked Drew, "Would you like me to read the child's future?" And Drew had responded, "Her future is her own." And he was protective and kind of pulled her back and just said, "Now let's finish our business." He was quite curt, and he gave her a big bag of gold, and she gave him a package. And then that's her experience with Madame Priska. She's been terrified of Madame Priska, and the village kind of uses her as a sort of a, you better behave or Madame Priska will come and grind up your bones. And it works, but she's also feared and revered because there's a lot of people convinced that she can read the future, and her predictions have a tendency of coming true in sometimes unexpected ways, perhaps.
All right. Well, I'll mention to Thrandrew as well that I tried to get in to see Madame Priska, but they told me there would be a wait, but perhaps you and I could go in together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said about 20 minutes, if you recall.
Yeah.
I do not believe in the predicting the future, but I would like to see this, actually.
So, Thrander, you're still back. So you guys it's from where you are across the bar, you can see through people and the door in and out of vision and stuff, and you're not sure who was in there. What, they were busy. But anyway, about 10 minutes has gone by, and it's been a while. Whoever's been in there now that you guys have really paid attention, they've been in there at least 7 minutes, 8 minutes, whoever's been in there. And nobody saw who was in there, who went in.
I'll actually, if I can, Darren, maybe I'll kind of go towards the green room and wait to see, who comes out of there.
So, okay, you go. You're going to head back across the bar?
Yeah, maybe get a good look. And if it's someone I know who's coming out of there, maybe I can talk to them and maybe see what's going on. Go past Cherry.
All right. Anyone else want to do anything? As Thrandew, you guys have about 10 minutes before apparently they'll take the next customer. And they take one customer at a time, is what you heard the rule is.
Oh, no groups.
Kind of talk to them and get in line, as it were.
It's one at a time. They take one person. And that's what creepy, and a lot of people are kind of giggle, and it's like almost like a haunted house thing where you go in there to get a scare of your life, and well, some people came out of there pretty white and looked to be scared. And so tick-tock, the minutes are ticking by, but you guys are just watching everything, and the revelries, of course, as I said, it's about midnight. Things will go on for a bit, but it's peaked somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Music's still going.
Play a little drinking game in the meanwhile to pass the time.
Is the tailor and the weaver and the tailor's family still around? At some point, I wanted to talk to them anyway. This might be a good spot to throw that in.
You don't really have the time.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to go first? Thrandew was kind of going to go.
Yeah. I was just going to say that somewhere in the evening, I'd mention that I kind of lost all my clothes to the Dragon Breath, and would like to stop by tomorrow and acquire some new duds.
Nice. So the weaver's name is Henry, and he's of course. You come by the shop anytime, and I have some wonderful rolls of garments, some linens, and some colorful patterns. Will make you do you up real good.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just checking something. Lito's over there. You're talking to the weaver, and he would probably be over at this table or something. You could head over there.
Okay. Make my rounds in the evening.
Boudica is just kind of with Winston Furry Toes and Gwyden at the moment. So Gwyden, you have a few minutes. You were watching this whole thing go on, and before everyone dispersed, you guys did discuss you guys all just dispersed. You didn't really discuss what you were going to do. Do you still want to just disperse and everyone do whatever they want to do?
Well,
so that's fine.
I did mention to them originally that I was like, I mentioned to Thrandrau that since he was going to be heading in, I was going to see if we could get in at the same time. And then...
Okay, you can try, I suppose.
Probably won't be able to, if it only take one at a time. There's probably a reason for it or something.
Oh, for sure. Well, one of us could go in and then the other. That's perfectly fine. But yeah. I would have also mentioned that, I went to this door here to...
The door abruptly opens. Quite violently. Kind of wham, clunk, and you were there, Lido. You heard it, and you noticed, like, ooh, the door, oof. And Zara comes out. Actually, storms out.
Does she see me?
And she's in a huff, like a rage. And she looks even more beautiful than you remembered when she's mad.
Of course.
Oh yeah, but she's pissed, and she looks back and she says something in the doorway in a language that you don't recognize.
Yeah, but I would understand it.
Oh, you do?
Haha.
Oh my. Okay, that's interesting. Remember, you will pay the price. This is your last warning, you old bitch. And she slams the door.
Why does she sound like Ernest Borgnine?
And she storms out and looks behind her angrily. And Shiana, barmaid, is near, and she just shoulders past her, and she spills a bunch of drinks. And Zara heads toward the door. She didn't see you. She seemed in a bit of a hurry. Now, the language was, you don't know what it is, but you understood it.
Yeah.
You noticed that other people were just shrugging and stuff, and you knew that it wasn't common.
Yeah, for sure.
So, real quick, this is like they're doing fortunes back here?
Yeah.
Is that what they were doing?
Essentially, sounds like reading palms or reading cards. Or
Zara, she blows by you, Zhang.
Yeah.
You knew her, you recognized her. She had actually she had done an act with all the other girls. She was the girl they tied to the wheel when they threw the knives.
Oh,
and yeah. She did other stuff. She was arguably the most impressive one. Anyway, she storms by you, and you get a look at her. You can make a +10 intelligence check. Very long shot, because you were actually close. You got to look. Well, I don't know. What do? You see Zara shoulder through a few people with a haughty look on her face.
She basically see if she really forces her way through anybody, or she's just trying to cut the crowd to get out.
Okay. Nope, she gracefully slices through the crowd. Anyone who's she does, but whoever she touches or gets close gets hit back. Like she pushes them just kind of none too gently.
Definitely frustrated.
And heads out the door. Now, I'll give you guys a round to act or whatever just as she gets to the door. Zhang saw her for sure. Winston's pigging out. Boudica, probably she was watching. She would have seen, like, hey, you see that? That's that harlot that was hanging on Lido.
Mm-hmm. And I take it she's exceptionally attractive for to be the leader of the dancers.
And talented.
It
wasn't just a show. She was doing flips and amazing contortions, dance moves that were just, well, they all were pretty amazing, but she just seemed to be a
level higher than that.
Oh yeah, and she's perfect.
Yeah.
What can I say? And she saunters out with one last look. She looks back at the crowd, spits on the floor, and goes out into the dark.
Somebody did not have a good evening. And I think it was her.
Hey, you guys aren't picking up on some subtle clues, but that's... And they're very subtle, so I shouldn't ask too much. That's okay, though. I just so you know, I've dropped information there real subtly, but it's a long shot. If I work that way as a DM. I'll work that way.
The only thing I could think of is that she's some sort of like would I there's no way I'd recognize if the language she was using was demonic in any form, would it?
Make a +10 intelligence check.
Yeah, like a lot of...
And I know you're smart, so you actually might be able to get this.
A lot of guttural noises?
Well, I'll just see what you roll.
Bitch.
Oh.
It's one you hadn't heard in this world, but you hadn't had a lot of contacts.
Well, that's kind of where my brain's at, and I'm thinking that if they pissed off a demon, they're not inherently our enemies.
Enemy of our enemy?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you're off. Nobody followed her or anything. No, she's gone.
Okay,
yeah.
Hold on.
What I was going to say was, could I just slip out the door behind her, like just a few seconds later, and not make it too obvious?
Yeah, but you did hesitate.
Okay.
For quite a while. And when you do duck your head out, there's no sign of her.
She's gone out of light.
There's a few people out there. There's some farmer guy and his wife walking up to the door.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'll do then, I'll kind of make my way over to Thrandrau and Zhang quickly, just to let them know and everything that, like, hey, listen, like, she seemed pretty pissed off when she left. Like, I don't think that she would like attack this building or anything, but it's something we should maybe keep an eye out for, something going down here.
Definitely a couple of folks that are not agreeing on something tonight.
Do you remember what she said, Lito?
Oh yeah, she said, "You old bitch." What was it? Yeah, this is the last. It was something about like, this is the last time you cross me, or I don't know, something.
Oh, you missed it. Okay, I'll help you out a bit. She said, "This is your last chance to make the payment, you old bitch."
Ah, I see.
My master is losing his patience.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell Zhang and Thrandrau that for sure. I'll say that, yeah, whoever her master is must be pretty big to eventually scare this old crone.
Somebody's getting looped through their speakers, by the way.
Yeah.
That's
Max?
Yeah.
I was going to say, there's been an awful lot of people claiming masters around here lately, and usually they end up hurting us right afterwards.
Go ahead and make a +5 dexterity check. So 13, what's your dex?
18.
Your dexterity is 18.
I think so. Let me double check.
Well, okay, that's a definite pass.
Yes, 18.
By 5. You smell, like, there's aromas and stuff and all sorts of smells in here, of course, but you suddenly smell burnt wood.
Oh,
and it's in the immediate area because nobody else can smell it. It's like right where you came to. You suddenly came into it as you came up to Zhang. You're like,
I'm gonna tap Zhang and ask him if he smells anything. I smell something burning.
and now Zhang, now you think of it, it's just started now that you can, like, I smell smoke, but it's like, and you look at each other and you look down on the floor and there's a little black burning patch.
Is that where she spat?
Now, Did you move your avatar down there, Lito?
Oh yeah, sorry. When I went and talked to Zhang, I would have for sure.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, yeah, okay. So you just come up, and they're all looking at this. They're pointing at this thing in the floor, and you didn't see her spit.
Yeah, but that was what you said.
No, but I
watched-
did. I saw her spit there.
Yeah, because I watched her come out of the room as well. You were kind of explaining that whole her leaving thing.
Yeah, but okay.
When she
you're
left
on
the
other side
building.
of the bar, and it's full of people.
That was basically right beside my table, the table I'm standing beside.
Yeah, you saw
where
her
she
spit.
spat. It's like
you could tell Lito that's she spat there.
That's where she spat when she went to go at the door, right there, right in front of the door beside the table, like she was flipping off the entire room.
And it's kind of going out a bit, but it left a black little crater.
Scorch mark in the floor.
Yeah, slightly not normal.
Now, give me 1 second. Now, what do you guys want to do? Now, you notice it's a hole in the floor.
Yeah, do we know anybody around?
Now, what do you guys want to do? Actually, this is sort of important. Now, you didn't.
Is there a possibility this is getting out of hand, or is it just?
Well, you haven't really investigated it.
I want to get. I want to
kind of looking at
down
it
on one knee and look at it up close. Not that I know much about flaming spit, but that's beside the point.
Okay.
One rank in demon spit recognition.
There's a small fire in the basement.
A small fire in the basement.
Underneath you. You look in the hole and he's like, oh shit, right underneath you. There's a small little. It just started, like you can tell.
In that case, I'm going to basically whisper to Gwyden, get Osler and tell him to get to the basement right away, quick. And I'm going to go at basically my full speed over the bar into the basement to start putting the fire out.
Okay.
I'm going to look around. Where's Osler?
Around this and over the top of the bar.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to open up the turn order here a minute. Okay.
Tell Osler we have a problem.
His wife's behind the bar at the moment, and he's over at the main table here. He's talking with the guests and such.
I'm gonna grab him and spin him around.
That Mary Gundagoot, that's his wife?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna stop for like a fraction of a second there. Say you got a problem in the basement right now too.
And you guys quickly rush downstairs, like oh, and they know you guys a bit, and sure enough, there's a little fire down there. Right under the hole, and you got there quick enough that it got it quickly under control because you could tell it started. It had hit it hit the floor, and you can see now it's burning out because the floor down here is basically a brickwork, and it's still burning a little bit though, but it's kind of fizzling out, and it had flared up for a minute, and you guys acted quickly, and it seems okay.
Glass of water put it out now?
No, it just kind of water pops and snaps off it a bit. It just seems to spend itself out. Like water doesn't really affect it.
Ooh. That's strange.
That's unnatural.
Very unnatural. Is there anything left in the pockmark? Is there like a granule or anything?
No, you can just see it. It's ground, like it's almost like some corrosive, like some strong acid. Like you remember Lito casting that acid arrow, and it was kind of like that in a way, right? It just seemed to burn of its own accord and didn't even need. It was its own fuel. It just you wouldn't want to get it on your skin probably.
Ew, definitely not.
And you say that she spat that, Boudica says?
Yes. Where she spat on the floor before when she hesitated at the door there.
There's two things I see. Boudica says this person is supernatural, but also didn't really give a hoot that she may have burnt the place down.
Yeah.
They may have done it intentionally. There's if she knew that it had that property.
So, what is the process for going in to talk to the fortune teller? Are we supposed to wait in line?
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, we shot.
Well, and the time is up. That 20 minutes has gone by now. Actually, this was just a little thing that you witnessed, and it was Zara who was in there for 15 minutes at least or something. So they had something to talk about, and then it didn't go well apparently. And when you get there, they tell you, okay, go to the door. Thrandu and Leto.
Yeah. So there's somebody guarding the door, or?
Yeah, there was a large gypsy.
Okay. Well, we speak to him and just walk up and say, "Wish to see Madame Priska."
At 150 gold pieces.
We'll tell them that it's really important that we have some information that may be of value to them.
Well, you said it was 10.
Well, he's suspicious. You guys came up there in a group, and he's just, one at a time. Who wants to see Madame? She's very busy.
Okay, well, I'll tell him. Okay, we'll decide who gets to go in, and for now, I'll get him a drink. I'll make sure he's all happy. And
he's eyeing you guys. He's like, ugh.
And I'll turn to the rest of the group and I'll say, okay, whichever one of us goes in, we'll be sure to mention the girl spitting acid, and the rest of us should keep maybe a bit of a patrol around the place. Keep an eye out for anything else suspicious. So who wants to go in?
I'm gonna go back. This is under control here, I think. I'm gonna go to the door, the front, and just kind of keep an eye out on the outside. I'm gonna go stand on the porch and keep an eye on the outside here, listening for anything that might be going on, disturbances.
So he goes, well, who's going in? Who is it? And he looks at
my blood. I don't have that much money.
Sorry, what'd you say, Brad?
I don't have that much money.
I think he'll just let us in if we tell him that I think that was the thing. We say that, yeah, we have important information for them.
Sometimes information is as important as money.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got to role play this.
All right. Well, if everyone else is kind of moving away, I'll head towards the door.
Lito, you go up to the door, and Thrandu, you're standing there with him still. You got to move your avatar if you're going to move.
Yeah, I'm right there.
So the two of you standing there, and he's standing in front of the door looking at you two. Are you guys dense? I said one at a time. Last chance.
Yeah, I'll tell Brad. I'll be like, listen, I'll be right out. If you just go, I'll head right in, and then yeah.
Okay, you can go first.
He shakes his head. So, who are you?
I said, my name.
And you still standing here? He looks at Thrandu. Can I do something for you?
I don't know. I'm kind of confused here because is it 150 gold pieces, or are we talking to her for free? I don't have any money. So.
What part of one at a time do you not understand? And he goes inside and slams the door.
Oh, God damn it.
Looks like you're on stage, Lito.
Yeah, well.
When you said it was 10 gold pieces a while ago, now it's 150, and I was like,
all right. Well, now that it's like if Brad's gonna be walking away, I'll knock again. And
well, he's still 10 feet away, standing there looking at you.
I thought you said he slammed the door.
No, Thrandu is.
Ah, I see. Well, yeah, I think Thrandu. The thing is, they were kind of put off by the two of us standing here.
Yeah, well, I back off then.
Yeah, I'll knock again and see if they'll let me in.
Okay, you knock again.
Yeah, and, you know, of course.
Door opens about 10 inches. Oh, it's you. Alone, I see.
I'd like to apologize for earlier. We've all had a bit to drink.
Well, 200 gold pieces.
Well, I say once again, I've got information that will be of use to Madame Priska. Also, I slayed this goddamn dragon. I'll motion over to the head above the bed.
Make a +5 charisma check. And how loud are you speaking?
Oh, I'll speak loud enough so that Madame Priska could hear me. I would definitely try to use that, right? Maybe she'll be like, oh, you know, let him in. I don't think my charisma's 20, so unfortunately.
And you gotta pay the gold, boy. It's late. It's last customers. It's also when she's at her most prescient.
Well, your friend almost burnt down the bar, but I guess you don't really care about that, and I'll turn to leave. And Olive tried to say that as loud as well, you know, so that they could have heard that.
So give me a second. No, you walk away and nothing happens.
Damn. Well,
they probably don't care about the bar.
That was kind of that was a clutch thing. Well, yeah, I'll go back to Zhang and for Andrew and tell him, yeah, sorry.
This isn't going well, you guys. Sorry.
I don't know. I was just going to go and pay the money because he said it was 10 gold pieces, and then all of a sudden it's 150 gold pieces, and I don't have any money, so I'm just standing there.
Well, you must have missed out a few times. I mentioned that you play one at a time. And you guys first showed up with 4 of you clustered by the door. That put them off and raised the price. And then you guys, anyway, watch the video. Okay.
I'll give him a couple of minutes to settle down and cycle around the place and approach alone.
Okay, you see that somebody else has approached at the moment. And gone in, and it's a guy that this one table is really rowdy and been drinking heavily, and it must have been a dare or something. You see one of this farmer guys like really quite drunk, and he goes up the door and knocks, and he's kind of rebuked and turned around and stumbles back, and he's kind of shrugging.
Okay, I'll just kind of slide up the wall, kind of from this side,
right
between the table here in the middle of the room up, and knock by myself.
Okay, door opens.
Good evening, fine sir.
Good evening. What you wish to see the madame?
A palm reading or cards would be interesting at this point of the night, I believe.
Hey, sorry, Brad. Were you mumbling something? I missed that.
Nothing.
Okay.
Hey, my life seems to have taken a rather interesting turn in the last week. A fortune might be appropriate at this point.
Palm read 15 gold pieces.
Okay. We can agree to that.
And he opens the door, and right away you smell this strange aura smell, and you can tell it's in heightening something. And you, being a monk, you're kind of analyze it a bit. Could you make an intelligence check for me?
Oops.
And you guys see Zhang enter the room, and the door is closed behind her.
And I rolled a 1 on the roll.
Okay, you can tell it is a sort of I'm looking for the right word. It is a mind-altering aroma. You find that you are Well, no, you sense that, and you can tell that you're being put at ease. You're very much being. It's almost like, yeah, you smoked a big joint or something.
Interesting.
Or ate some hash or something. You just feel like, oh, quite warm suddenly. But again, you have goosebumps as you look over at this round table, and there's this cloth covering a bulge on the table, and there's this woman in these old gypsy tradition, not in the flamboyant sense. She's the only gypsy you've seen actually that is not dressed flamboyantly. She's dressed in these black. Oh no, sorry, over here. She's dressed in this sort of dark, somber blue garb. She has these milky cataract eyes. She's kind of hunched over, and there's few teeth left, if any. And she seems at the moment to be looking at you with the cataract eyes. And she has cards in front of her as well. And she has a deck of them stacked on the left, and she's actually in the process of flipping over some cards.
Okay.
And she's building a sort of pattern in front of her with the cards. And just randomly or whatever. And the big gypsy, fat gypsy guy, he holds a chair back for you, and so you're expected to sit down.
Beside her or directly across?
No, across the table from her, yeah, like right across.
Okay.
And the table, he definitely puts the chair in under, and you just find yourself sitting there. Now there is a younger, you think, woman to the left of your left, and she's dressed in dark, somber garb as well, and appears to be, they're both of some sort of status, elders, right? This one, though, has some jewelry on, and perhaps has even some makeup, and though being old, you can tell she is, at one time, may have been beautiful, perhaps. But she is probably in her 60s. And she asks in this voice, "So, you must say your name, your month of birth."
I am Sister Zhang Jia, and I was born in the month of the melting snow of spring.
Okay, you see the old woman, she hesitates for a moment, and then she takes a couple cards back and puts them under the deck, and takes two other ones and puts them into the pattern, and then flips over a couple other, and just, you're watching that, and have you had the pain of childbirth?
No, ma'am.
And she speaks some language to the old crone. "What do you wish to be done? Madame Priska may read palms. She may answer a question. And she can also read fortunes and other means. If you pay a little bit extra," she says, "she may even look into your future."
This seems to be an interesting opportunity, as the last week or so has been very, very exciting, and more than I would normally have.
Okay, I'm going to leave you for a minute.
Expected.
I'm going to give you a minute to think about this, and I'm going to put you on the spot, though, because it's happening in real time in a way. And I'm going to go back to the rest of the group, and everything seemed to go really smooth. Like, all of a sudden, Sister Zhang spoke briefly to the guy and was let in, and the door closed. And a number of minutes will tick by. Gwyden, you've come over to the stairs and gotten close to the door. Now the big gypsy guy comes outside and stands outside the door again, looking around. And whatever, he stands outside the door. Anybody want to do anything?
I was going to take a look out the door, see if there's anybody hanging around the bar still, like maybe see if Zara's come back. And then if not, I was going to go try to find Relenora again.
Oh, good call. So you can move your avatar. Last time you saw Relenora, she was in the green room.
Okay, I was right by the door, though. I was going to do that quick first. Just pop outside for a sec.
All right, so back to the green room. You're standing outside the door.
Sorry, Darren. I meant like just at the front door of the bar, like seeing if Zara came back.
Oh, no, she there's no sign of her.
Okay.
You're looking around like,
Okay, then yeah, I'll move myself over to the green room.
Yeah. And you go to the door and knock on it discreetly, I guess.
Okay, one thing I was going to do, if I know there's a bunch of gypsies in there, I'm going to bring them some booze.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah.
What kind of booze do you want to buy? Do you have money?
Ooh, well, I mean, I don't have much, but I'm sure that they'd, if I told them it was for the gypsies, and I'm sure the ostler would maybe help me out, probably give them some.
He's quite generous. He
Something.
gives you this round brace. It's like on a silver round brace that holds up all these like cow horns that have been hollowed out, and he pours this amber liquid into them. And he goes, well, it's real dark amber. This is dwarvish black rum on the house for the show. I made a fortune tonight. He chuckles. By the way, you watch that Madam Priska. I know you have friends in there now. I keep an eye on things. Something happened there tonight with your girlfriend.
Nice. And I'll smile and I'll thank him graciously. I'll say, thank you, ostler, for everything you have done. I will never forget your kindness.
He gives you a wink. Be careful. Keep it in your pants, maybe.
Sounds good.
And he sends you off with this tray, which you have to roll dexterity check. You're still inebriated. And the waitresses seem to think it looks so easy.
Oh, yeah, and I nail it.
Oh, and you just swivel hip your way through. And again, people are trying to stop you all the time and stuff too, and hug you, and yay, high five, and your attention. You see the guard guy outside. He turns to Gwyde and goes, "Can I help you?" Are you there, Scott?
I'd like to see the madam.
She's busy, and it's one of the last shows. I'll have to see. Come back in 10 minutes.
I think she is going to want to see me tonight.
Well, he gives you a suspicious look. I think we're closed. And he opens the door and slams it in your face. And Zhang, you spin around. Well, that doesn't quite happen yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get back to you in a moment.
Yep.
The cat's just laying across my screen. Oh God, what's this? Or across my keyboard. Oh, you did F11, didn't you? I was like, what happened on my taskbars? All right. Now going down the turn order, I'm going to add you guys to the turn order so that we can give some sort of order to this. And let me just punch you guys in. And can you guys play for a bit yet? Because Boudica will be showing up. Yeah, so Gwyden, you realize that you have to be much more discreet. These guys are starting to figure out. And strangers coming up armed saying they have information and stuff really makes gypsies antsy, okay? I'll just mention that.
Especially
now, she got in like that because she said, hey, I want to get palm read. Okay.
and I'm not wearing anything but clothes.
So that helps. You're not armed.
And borrowed clothes at that.
Now, I was going to ask Scott and anybody else whether you're wearing your armor, and you said you were, and you were armed. So you're clanging around in your armor. Now, this is a bit later on. Did you want to go to the party in armor? And that goes Thrandu as well. And did you want to did you have some clothes? Now, actually, you went to buy some clothes, right? Somebody was like, yeah, mine got burnt. Yeah, so Gwyden, you're kind of completely, he's just closed the door in your face. We're wrapping up. It's done.
Your mistress is not going to like you turning me away. She'll wish she hadn't.
Yeah, most of that's talking to a door, but they're not impressed. Well, he isn't. So what do you want to do? You're still standing looking at the door, and you're like, ugh.
Well, I'm not going to start a fight in Ostler's establishment. So I'll be handy. I want to be right around the corner here where I can kind of hear any disturbances. Kind of hang out in the stairwell here.
Gotcha. Okay. For now, the guard is in the room, and in about a minute or so, he comes back outside. And unless you're hiding around the corner or something, he'll probably see you. Just so you know. Okay. So moving on, you can move on too if you want or whatever. Leto, what do you want to be doing? I'm just rolling down the thing here.
Yeah, I'll knock on the door and wait for someone to answer. And I assume someone's going to open up the door, probably that guy again?
No, Crystal does.
Ah, terrific.
And she's like, what is it? What? Have you seen Zara?
I said, yes, I'll tell you all about it if you let me come inside.
Okay, she lets you in because, and you see Gloria there and Relenora's in here.
And also, I've got this whole tray of drinks, and I say that these are for all of you. With great thanks from the establishment, everybody had a great time, and you all did wonderfully. And
suddenly, you're surrounded by 3 gorgeous gypsy girls, and there are a couple guys in the room too. One of them's sort of you see Rodriguez is in there. You don't know Rodriguez though, do you?
No.
Okay, he's watching you with a keen eye. You see he's a sharp, lean, hard-looking gypsy man. He's got like a 5 o'clock shadow and a bandana on, dressed quite richly. Like his vest is richly embroidered and rhinestoned and patterned up and gaudily. And he's got this wicked curved dagger. It's tucked in his sash, and he's watching you with a keen eye. But the girls are just all of a sudden like, oh, is this what I think it is? And they're fluttering around you. And you're like, I'll have to sit down for a moment.
Yeah, and I'll say, yeah, it's this is a dwarven black rum. And if kind of like just the girls are right around me right now, I'll kind of lean in and I'll be like, yeah, I have to talk to you about Zara.
That's Zara. She's such a drama queen, you hear Gloria say. And Crystal's like, yeah, but she can dance so well. And they start chattering about that. And they take shots and they go, to our Hommlet hero. And they go all give you a bunch of kisses on your cheeks and forehead.
Terrific.
And they take shots, and you're covered in lipstick and cleavage.
Classic.
Make a charisma check.
Oh, hold on. I got to check that one. I think my charisma's like... yeah, it's a little... Yeah, I did not make that one.
So for the moment, you've kind of forgotten why you came in here. You're just... woohoo! For about the next 5-10 minutes, you're just going to have some shots with these girls. And they're always sneaking little pinches and trying to tickle you and stuff. And we'll go to the next player. Gwyden, you went and tried your bit at the door and were rebuffed again, and went to the stairs, and you still have maybe a minute or so of time. You saw Leto go into the green room and the door closed behind him. And yeah.
I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna hang out.
Sure. And then Boudica, well, I guess she just hangs at the table. I'm not gonna much more. Hold on a sec. I'll get to Zhang in a minute. Thrandu still has to go. Thrandu.
Sorry, I was gone for a minute there. I had to go take care of something.
Okay.
I've been gone for about 5 minutes. Sorry.
Sister Zhang got let in, and everyone else was just kind of doing their thing. Leto went into the green room. Gwyden's kind of lingering, loitering by the stairs. And it appears Zhang's been in the room for about a few minutes. And everybody's kind of done their little thing. It's you're last to go. You have an ongoing. The clock's ticking.
Okay, is John Smith here?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to him for a minute.
And he sees you. Hey, Thrandu,
Yeah.
come over. Make a spot there, Krusuk, you old fucker. And you see Krusuk is the old dwarf that didn't go fight. And he's pretty old, grizzled engineer, and he's not ashamed he didn't go fight. He was just, well, maybe he was drunk or something, but he was just like, I'm not fighting a fucking dragon, are you nuts?
Maybe he's just sort of retired or chaotic neutral or something.
Yeah, just didn't go. They had an argument, remember? And we made a couple rolls. But it turns out he was probably right because his buddy got scorched.
Yeah.
And you sit down and John Smith's like, so the armor, your friends said it was supposed to fit your size. And you weren't here yesterday when we kind of did this a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, remember you guys were, skinning and taking parts from the dragon?
Yeah, we were getting some stuff done. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to him about. I've got 3 dragon claws. So, and I wanted to get them maybe fashioned into some sort of prosthetic fingers or something so that I can hold a bow, that kind of thing. Like just something that would help me out. Like put some straps and...
He hands you a shooter. And here's to killing a dragon, you bastard.
Oh, yeah, we have a drink over that.
So, so let's see these claws.
Well, I never even got a chance to hit the bugger, but I definitely give the day to Rufus. Without him, we would have been in severe trouble. As it is, we already had very sad losses.
Nice. Yes, and they kind of, and then so you took the shot he gave you?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I trust it.
It's volcanic vein blower.
Oh.
So you have to make a constitution check. You're drinking with dwarves now.
Yeah, I'm not used to that. They're dwarven stuff.
So Krusuk and Colin's here. Where is Colin? He's supposed to. Yeah, there he is. And they're drinking the heavy stuff. They're having a bit of a wake. So they say, to Berzar, when you guys mentioned, and you okay. So make a constitution save or not save check.
Oh,
well
yeah.
Done. Yeah, you're good to go. You haven't been drinking heavily, but you've been partaking. But this stuff hits you, though. Oh, yeah. It's like, you're like good stuff. It's hot, and just your whole body warms up, and it gives you a buzz. Like, and then you bring out the claws and put him down. He's looking at him. You know what? I don't know about prosthetic. You see, there's no hinges and grasping, but it could be incorporated into some sort of weapon.
Yeah, perhaps like a clawed glove or something that just goes on there.
A clawed glove. Say, I have an idea. I'm making that dragon hide armor for you, right? I tell you what, I might be able to custom fit it with that hand of yours. You hold it up and it's kind of, you're like, yeah. Perhaps I could integrate it into the left hand so you have the claw.
Oh, okay. Armor's being made for me?
Yeah, they agreed that you needed it.
Okay.
Surprise. He's like, they were going to surprise you. I probably ruined it. They decided to give it to you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be +2 studded leather armor. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Come by tomorrow. It might be ready.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to seeing your work. Yeah.
I thank you for slaying the dragon.
I had some part in it. Yeah.
And then he turns and he gives you another shooter glass.
It was there.
He gives you another shooter glass, pull one again, and you see they have a brace there too, and they got the traditional cow horns, and they're taking shots. And he turns, and everyone stands up as he stands up, and he turns to the dragon skull. To Scorch, who gave us a hell of a show.
That he did. Yes.
And you take another shot. You're feeling pretty good. And then and you know Colin and Krusuk, and here's old Harry here, and you see Harry barefoot is barely staying on the bench. He's actually, so they have, once in a while John Smith will kind of grab him and pull him back on as he keeps starting to lean toward the fire.
Whoa.
And Harry Burfoot looks at you guys and hiccups. Yeah, to the Dragon Slayers, he says, is real drunk. And you guys that takes about 10, 15 minutes, right? And during this time, we're going to now head back to Zhang. And during this time, during these 12 minutes or whatever it was, after you got settled down, you saw that the door opened briefly after like you were talking and introducing, and they asked these strange questions about your birth moon and stuff, and whether you'd born a child. And you were truthful though, right? You didn't lie to them, did you?
No.
No? Okay.
I think that's
And you sense that they're testing you perhaps or something, or it was just when they take a lie detector test, they'll ask you questions and they can sense if you're not telling the truth. They'll have certain tells.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you sense that because you were tested when you got your monk training. You remember that they put you through drills similar to this where, self-discipline and keeping yourself under control, not giving away signs and tells.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've had some time to think about what you want to ask or whatever. Now, you first mentioned that you wanted to get your palm read. Vaguely?
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what when I came in, but I wanted to. Actually, I do want to because, as I say, she's had her life turned upside down the last week or so. So a little bit of a forewarning might be a good thing, but also she wants to slip in that.
Okay, so role play this. What do you tell her? What do you ask? Because now this woman turns to you. So, Madame Priska is ready. The cards are ready. What do you wish to know?
First, I would like to share some information. The lady who just left, she seemed rather upset. She spat on the floor out there and burned a hole through the floor. This seems very disturbing to me. Do you know who she actually really is?
or what?
Now she stiffens, her back stiffens somewhat. The old lady doesn't blink an eye. She just keeps kind of slowly moving cards around, flipping them over as you guys are talking.
Mm-hmm.
And she stiffens though and goes, "That is none of your business. These are gypsy matters. I ask that you did refrain from these queries."
Indeed. I just thought it might be something you would want to know. We will go with the extra reading you had mentioned, one that costs more.
And she relaxes a bit, but still is now you see she's suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
The old lady is just flawless. You're not even sure she hears anything, frankly. So, do you have money?
I have a small amount of coin. I do not carry a lot of worldly goods, but I do carry enough to get by short periods of time. And yes, I will pay.
She can read the future. That is the most expensive one.
And how much over the 15 gold would that be?
And she looks at the old lady. And the old lady, you see, she hesitates somewhat and starts again flipping cards. For you, the old lady, will do it for a favor. And you kind of feel the goosebumps rising on your arm and leg.
A favor. That seems as an odd request for a reading of the cards or the future.
Do you wish to do this or not? Else it will be 500 gold pieces. Paid up front.
It's interesting. We will see about taking this favor you ask. Do we know what it is for?
You do it or you do not.
Can I at least find out what the favor is?
Not until you agree to the favor. And she's getting a bit agitated. If you do not have the money, you must do the favor.
Okay. We shall agree.
It is done. Now, the younger woman stands up gracefully, leans forward, and she pulls back this black silk or black velvet cover that was covering this sphere. It's a ball, a crystal ball. And at the moment, you kind of look at it somewhat, and it seems a bit dormant, or just seems like a crystal ball. And the old lady now has put the cards away, and she moves real quick. Her fingers move really fast. She gracefully puts the deck to the side, and the younger one takes the deck reverently and puts it in somewhere in the back. And then she goes up behind the old lady and just pushes her forward with the chair. And the old lady finally speaks. Put your hands on the crystal ball.
Sister Zhang will rest her fingertips on it, or her palms on the table.
I want you to think about the past. You were 3. Now I will look at your future. And suddenly you're 3 years old. And you haven't had memories like this. And these were memories before you were abducted and taken to the monastery.
Orphaned.
That's how they say it, but it's sort of a tribute thing. It's and your life you experience intense moments throughout your life, and it happens, and this flash goes by, and this sort of matrix of images swirling, and you can see that you're sharing these images with her. You can sense, and then all of a sudden it gets to the point where it's present, and she sees the point where Zhang goes by and stuff, and you see that image and the spit, and you're looking through the hole again quick at the fire, and then all of a sudden there's an image in the future, and it's not too far into the future. You can tell this. In fact, it might just be a matter of days. You look down at your own hands, and you look at your companions, but your companions, there's something horribly wrong. Those who are with you, and it's vague who even is with you at the time, but those who are, they look strange, and you realize with horror that they've been turned to stone. And then you also have images. You're suddenly looking down over a huge court, and you have this, for some reason, this imagery of the Scarlet Brotherhood, and you see their symbol that you've run across it before. You're in one of the courts of the Scarlet Brotherhood. Now, you do know that they have 3 major cities. A couple of them are big fortress cities, and there's another one on the coast. And you saw yourself zoom into this large city of assassins, and then that all of a sudden you pulled your fingers off the crystal ball, and the old lady's just looking at her with cataract eyes and nodding. So you do have an interesting future. Oh, and at the last minute when you saw your friends turn to stone, you looked down at your hands, and they were turning to stone. And in the last pose, and then they were frozen as a statue, as the rest of your friends were. And then she goes, so that is parts of your future and your past. As to the favor.
Yes.
The old lady turns and says something in a language that's alien to you. Speaks for a little bit. Okay, I have to just make sure I got this right a minute.
Yep, no problem.
You are a very effective warrior. I've seen that in your past. Like, she saw parts of your life. And you find yourself, like, kind of wigged out a bit. And you're even rattled that this woman has shared some of your intimate moments of your life and knows you quite personally now. You're fit now. It's sort of a Godfather thing where she goes, "You will be summoned, and when you are, you must come to the gypsy camp. There, you will be given the favor."
I have been there. I know the camp.
Good. Our business is done. The Madame Priska does give this warning to you. She says there is great meaning in the statues, in the stone. Beware. In the near future, this could be our fate. And then,
does she know the place where this takes effect?
the business is completed. Sister Zhang, he says real sternly.
Mm-hmm.
Do not forget.
I will not forget.
And
thank you. Thank you, Madam Priska.
The door opens of its own accord behind you, and for some reason the gypsy guy seems to know that it's over. And he comes in and he grabs a chair like it's okay, time's up, and you have to kind of step up, or he'll.
I will respond accordingly, as if I expected it. Stand up and turn to go.
And he bows slightly and gestures towards the door.
Good evening, fine sir. Thank you.
Good evening.
And trying not to let it show that even though it might have walk out as calm as I can control myself.
It was this is a very traumatizing experience in some ways. As I said, you were sort of mentally raped.
Essentially. Memory-wise, yes.
And you sense that she could have even done other things. It was a form of ESP, if I would metagame this for you, right? So it's a crystal ball, and that's wow. So you guys suddenly see Zhang come out, a bit ashen faced. That's not surprising, and most people come out of there looking a little bit startled. And Zhang, where do you want to go? You feel better instantly. You know, as soon as you're back in the inn, there's laughter again and music, but you're just kind of shake your head a bit, and you see Gwyden come up from the stairs. He's a look of concern on his face, and
yeah, well, I'll just grab him by the arm, lead him away from the door a little bit so that they can't hear. Like, we need to chat, gather the others for a quick minute. Scott? Is he there? Nope.
Now, one thing that didn't get brought up were
I'm here.
The ghost. I'm not sure if I forgot or you forgot.
Oh, right.
That's what we were supposed to talk to her about.
Yeah.
I think. But you got some personal information and something perhaps for the party.
Yeah.
You did solve a lot, but I'm just trying to think now that was okay.
That was the primary purpose, not the spit on the floor.
Yeah, that's the way it went. Yeah, that's how it goes. So that's okay though. Night's not over, but they were wrapping up. You sense.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna head over to your table again.
Yeah, gather the group together here for a second and discuss what we just saw.
So head over to the hero's table then. Over here.
You look like you've seen, something. Like a ghost.
No, not a ghost. My own past.
So, Thrandur, you want to excuse yourself and join them?
Yeah, I'll just say, excuse me, Smith. My friend seems a little out of sorts here. I'm just going to go see what's going on.
She just saw Madame Priska, and he says, and yeah, oh, I'll see you later. See me tomorrow about that armor.
Yes, see you on the morrow.
And you give him the claws?
Yeah.
Okay. And Wamba the Fool's prancing around. So, Thrander, you join the table. I'll move you over there. You guys assemble the strange, or Harrison the Tailor. That's who his name was, Harrison the Tailor.
Oh, okay, yes.
He's a sharp dresser. So you talked to him about getting some clothes, right?
Yes, that was...
so come by tomorrow, and we'll take some measurements, and I'll do you up in some robes. I saw that you're a warrior princess, so you need something fitting. You must be able to move and fight, no?
Yes. Free-flowing, and we'll discuss that on the morrow, the details of functionality.
I'll design something just for that.
Aha.
And he heads off. And you guys are left. Now, Winston Furry Toes has been here eating the whole night. He's the skinniest looking halfling you've ever seen. And it's sad.
So with our crew around, I mentioned what this was not a regular a gypsy encounter.
So you're gonna just tell them what happened, like, because they were listening.
Yeah, basically say that this was a magical reading, and I might even say like she actually pulled things out of my mind that even I didn't know were there.
I was skeptical, but perhaps she does have a power.
And I've committed to a favor, which I believe is going to lead us into more risk and danger.
Oh, pardon me as well. When you went into that court, just had one more thing. When you had the last vision, going into the court.
Into the court of the Scarlet Brotherhood?
In that court were a whole bunch of warriors. And they were all in sort of a formal... and you recognize immediately the layout and formation of like a sensei and his troop of monk warriors.
Yep.
And the fact that they're in the Scarlet Brotherhood place, and then of course you see the turtle. On the banner.
The turtle banner.
So
that fills in a few blanks.
Yeah, so now right away you realize that Taruko
was an agent for the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Or he was a follower of this turtle sect, and the turtle sect is associated with the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Okay.
And so whether you don't know the relationship or anything, you're just given an image, and you were wondering about this turtle sect, where they're up to, where they were, whatever. But So anyway, you go back out and you tell these guys all about this, and you remind them that way back when this Taruko guy, most of you weren't here when we played this scenario. Was anybody here? Just Boudica, right?
Taruko went with us on the first mission, right?
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
So he betrayed them, and anyway, it turns out he's a follower of the Turtle Clan. Yeah. All right, guys. So we still have. I have to go pretty soon.
Okay.
But I have a bit of time. But I do have to make a run out to the farm.
Depending on how much more there is here tonight, it's early in the week and it's already 11:15 my time.
Yeah, and exactly. That's why I've already played for quite a bit. I've been on, and I've had a lot to work with now, and I feel kind of dumb because I had a couple hooks that would have, if you would have forgotten about the ghost.
Yeah.
But anyway, it happened, so we'll have to deal with that. Now, to wrap it up, the party winds up, and you guys are going to end up dispersing. So this last little bit would be, what do you guys want to do? I mean, it doesn't seem like there's anything you can do at the moment about anything, right?
She invited us out to the gypsy camp, though, didn't she?
No, she invited Zhang.
Said I would be summoned.
And Zhang.
Yeah.
And she would be summoned, yeah.
I would have to do a favor.
And now I role played that, guys. By the way, I got stopped broadcast and everything.